For Courtenay-Alberni.
Madam Speaker, we know in 1992 the Liberals pulled out of the National Housing Strategy at a time when we were building 25,000 non-marking housing units a year. Madam Speaker, I grew up in co-op housing, to answer my colleague who just heckled me. But Madam Speaker, those 25,000 units, 32 years without building those 25,000 units has obviously left us in a huge deficit. In fact, right now, we're the lowest in the OECD in non-market housing at 3.5%. We can look to the Netherlands, 34%. Look to Denmark, 21%. France at 17%, and their goal is 20%. Does my colleague believe that maybe this would be better if we took the GST, returned that back to communities where the GST was collected to build non-market housing? Because he talked about not telling communities what to do, but putting it back in the hands of community for non-market housing so that we could scale up. Maybe he could speak to the importance of that. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Berthier-Masquis-Angers. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to thank my colleague for that excellent question. Yes, that would be marvellous. What I want to see, and what I mentioned in my speech, is that the federal government shouldn't impose conditions on provinces. The GST amount should be sent back to communities directly to fund housing, community housing, affordable housing, for example. Yes. The issue he raised in his question goes deeper than that. He talked about housing deficit. Our governments are only thinking in the short term on a 4-year basis to try and get elected next time. $250 is a perfect example of this. That's just ridiculous. It's short-term, short-sighted. We have to see things long-term. And for housing, we shouldn't be in a problem now because long-term planning should have started a long time ago. And I taught this in secondary school, in high school to my students. I said, we're going into a labour shortage, for example. I knew it, so how did our leaders not know it? We need to work in the long term, Madam Speaker.